So full screen is coming?
Screen is coming, sir. So full screen view. It's no problem.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Nagaraj sir, shall we start the session?
Yes, sir. We'll start this, sir. So no problem.
Resource person is ready, la?
Yeah, ready, sir. Ready, sir.
91 join பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. ஒரு 2-3 minutes wait பண்ணலாமா? ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாங்களா?
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் சார். கண்டினியூ ஆயிட்டோம். ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் சார். அவங்க ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா ஆட்டோ அட்மிட் தான் கொடுத்துருக்கணும் சார். ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா அட்மிட் ஆயிருவாங்க. ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே. டன்.
அப்படி இல்லைன்னா ஃபேஸ்புக் லைவ் கொடுத்தாச்சு சார். ஃபேஸ்புக் லைவ் கொடுத்தாச்சு. அதனால ஃபேஸ்புக் லைவ் ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு சார்.
வெரி குட்.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ.
Session officially. Good morning to all. It's our pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this webinar on Bessel function, zeros and application. At the outset, I would like to extend my warm and most sincere welcome to our beloved resource person, Dr. Sanjeev Singh, Assistant Professor Mathematics, Indian Institute of Technology, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. I really thank on behalf of the management and principal for accepting our invitation to share your knowledge in this webinar, sir. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. I would like to extend my most sincere welcome to the organizing secretary, Dr. Nagarajan, Assistant Professor Mathematics, Nehru Institute of Technology, to this webinar. Really, the steps he has taken to organize this webinar is simply amazing. Welcome you, Nagaraj, sir. I also extend my welcome to the coordinators of this webinar, Ms. K. Sendamil Selvi ma'am, AP Mathematics, Mr. E. Balaji, Assistant Professor Mathematics, Mrs. R. Ilakia, Assistant Professor Mathematics to this webinar. I also welcome all the faculty members and students from Nehru Institute of Technology and the faculty members and students from our sister concern. I also would like to welcome the faculty members, students from all other institutions across Tamil Nadu and other states. I also welcome the industry persons to this webinar. The webinar today we are going to have will be really useful to all the listeners. The resource person is from an esteemed institutions, Indian Institute of Technology, Indore. So the knowledge he is sharing upon Bessel's function, zero and applications will be really useful to those who really want to work in this domain. So I don't want to take much time. I wish all the participants a very useful and informative session. Thank you all. Once again, I welcome you all. Now I invite Sendamil Selvi ma'am to introduce the resource person. Ma'am.
Sir, okay. Good morning and very warm welcome to everybody once again. It's my privilege to introduce our chief guest of today's function, Dr. Sanjeev Singh sir, Assistant Professor Mathematics. He is currently working in Indian Institute of Technology, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. He did his UG in Young Christian College, Allahabad. He has completed his PG and PhD in Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai, 2016. He has published around 10 papers in various international journals. He is also a reviewer and a member of Ramanujan Mathematical Society. Now I am very happy to hand over the session to Dr. Sanjeev Singh sir. Please, sir.
Thank you for a nice introduction, and thank you to HOD for giving me the chance to present my work. And so now I will start my presentation. So I also thank to Nagarajan, Dr. Nagarajan, for contacting me.
Thank you.
Opportunity. So I will talk in today's talk on Bessel function, and this is the one of the most important special function. In the theory of special function, there are many functions like Bessel function, hypergeometric function, Legendre polynomials, and so on. But among all those functions, Bessel function are more useful. So we will start with this. And in the theory of special function, when this function appears as a solution of this differential equation. So when you study your graduation, or I think some places in post graduation, this equations comes in the course differential equation course. So there you come across this equation, and that you call Bessel's equation. And this equation you solve using the method of this power series method. You find the solution for this differential equation using the power series method, and you get the solution in terms of power series. And that solution you call Bessel function. But interesting thing is that the function, Bessel function, this is the Bessel function, which is the solution of the previous equation. It appears first in the history. This appears first, and then later on, people found the differential equation associated with this Bessel function. So this second order differential equation has two linearly independent solutions that we denote by J nu and Y nu, and we call Bessel function of first kind and second kind. My presentation, can you see? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here this J nu we call Bessel function of first kind, and Y nu we call Bessel function of second kind. And similar to this Bessel equation, we have modified Bessel equation that is denoted by, that is this last equation, and it has two another solution that we call modified Bessel function of first kind and second kind. So today I'm going to talk only Bessel function, not this function, but it just similar to the previous one, only just change Z by IZ, and then from Bessel equation you will get modified Bessel differential equation. Okay, so we will start with this. There are many ways to study the Bessel function. As I told, either you can start from differential equation and then try to find a solution, and that solution will be Bessel function, and so on. There is another way, is start from this generating function. We have a exponential, and it is a function of x and t. We call this as a wxt. And why we call it generating function? Because if we expand this right hand side in the power of t, then the coefficient of this will be the Bessel function, Jnx. So here n is the integer. So that's why this is wxt is called the generating function for this Bessel function Jnx. So theory of Bessel function can be developed using this thing. So from this is the power series expansion. If you do for exponential, you will get double series, and one of the series will become the Bessel function. Now from this series representation of Bessel function, we can derive the derivative formula, and then we can derive the recurrence relation, and from that recurrence relation we can derive Bessel's equation. Okay, so next important thing is that integral representation of Bessel function. So this Jnx, so in this equation we put t is equal to e power I phi, and then we have this expression, and then multiply both sides e to the power I n phi, and integrate from 0 to pi. So idea is that we are using the orthogonal property of this exponential. So multiply e power I n phi and integrate from 0 to pi, and then we try to find this coefficient. So if you do this thing, and again here term by term integration, suppose it is possible. So we have using this integral formula. So this is equal to 0 when k equal to n, and pi when k is not equal to n. This is 0, and k is equal to n, it is pi. So in this right hand side of equation 3, only one term will survive, and that will be the when k is equal to n. So k is minus infinity to plus infinity. So when k is equal to n, so one term will survive, and that will be the Jn. So Jn will be equal to this quantity. So this is the original first definition of the Bessel function. And how Bessel got this equation? So here we derive using this by multiplying the exponential into this generating function equation. But here this problem arises from the during the early 18th, this Fourier has given one very good idea that whether we can write a function as a sum of trigonometric function. And that time people were working on the mathematics and they were trying to use this idea in their field. And Bessel was working on the problem which was proposed by the Kepler, and it was related to the planetary motion. And Kepler has proposed this problem, and this is the equation: psi equal to phi minus E sin phi. So this is the Kepler equation. So Bessel was thinking, can we solve this? Here we need to find phi. So to solve this equation, Bessel, what he did, he tried to write phi minus psi as a Fourier series, sine Fourier series, using the idea of. So this is the planetary motion. We have, this is the orbit, elliptic orbit, some planet moving along this orbit, and this is the sun. This is the sun is that is on the foci of this elliptical orbit. So this is the quantity psi, and this is the quantity, this angle is phi. So this is the problem, very old problem, and this problem is governed by the Kepler equation. So what Bessel did, he wrote phi minus psi as a Fourier sine series, and he wrote this equation, phi equal to psi. So phi minus psi is equal to this right hand side, so that is the Fourier sine series. And then he tried to find the coefficient AK. So again, he just to find this coefficient, he find the differential of this equation, and that is given by this formula. And in this formula again, we have to multiply cos n psi. So if we multiply each side cos n psi and integrate from 0 to pi, then this will lead to left hand side cos n psi d phi 0 to pi, and this quantity. And again, we are doing term by term integration. So again, we are using the same formula, similar formula. This integral is 0, and this will survive only when n and k are equal. So when n and k are equal, so it will be pi by 2. When k is not equal to n, this will be 0. So we will get this 0, and here from this we will get this quantity gives an. So here just this is the original equation. From this equation we replace psi by an. Okay, so this is the equation we got from this expression. So we can see this is nothing but, in terms of the Bessel function, this is the original thing. So an is nothing but 2 by n Jn Ne. So this is the original equation which Bessel found. But later on, what we do, we just in Bessel function, that series expansion, that denominator there was the gamma function. Some person is calling this. Okay. So yeah, so we have this is a solution for the Kepler equation, and that involve Bessel function of first kind, Jn evaluated at Ne. So this is the history of the Bessel function, and then we can see many places in science and engineering, we come across the differential equation, which is second order and coefficient looks like this. And we can solve this differential equation, and that solution will be again in terms of Bessel's function. So Jp and Yp. So Bessel function of first kind and Bessel function of second kind. So this is the general solution. So this is very easy. From this equation, how we can convert to Bessel equation, just we need to do some transformation. So in this equation, if you take y equal to z x to the power a, then this equation 7 will transform to this equation. And again, one more transformation, if you do t is equal to x to the power c in this equation, then we will have Bessel equation. So this is the Bessel equation. Here, if you want to original Bessel equation, just you put bt equal to some variable, say u, then you will get the original Bessel equation.
Sir, excuse me. Sir,
Yes,
sorry
sir.
for the interruption. Screen is not visible, sir. Many are sending the message.
The screen is not visible.
Sir, screen is visible, sir. Screen is visible, sir. Pin Sanjay Singh presentation screen, sir.
Okay, okay. Some
Screen is visible,
you
sir.
have sent the message that screen is not visible.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Sir,
So it is-
sir, please go ahead, sir. Okay, okay.
Okay, it's just. Yeah, so in Bessel's, so this is the general equation, and that many times appear in physics and engineering, many problem. So that we will see, some example we will see. So this equation, general equation, can be converted to this Bessel differential equation by using some transformation. This is very simple transformation, and then we will get this Bessel equation. Okay, so let's come to some other application. So as I mentioned that this is the differential equation. So this is a partial differential equation, and this is very important differential equation because its particular case are very useful. So we will see some particular case. So in this differential equation, if we use method of variable separable to solve this differential equation, let's assume the solution of this. This is u is your function of t. So here, this important differential equation occur many problems in electrodynamics, theory of vibration, and theory of heat conduction. And so here, what we assume that we first transform this into cylindrical coordinate system. So this is a partial differential equation using this cylindrical coordinate system. This partial differential equation can be written in this form. That's why after solving this equation, we will get the Bessel equation, and that's why Bessel function, which is the solution of Bessel equation, sometimes people call cylinder function, because they again comes after the solving problem using the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so here this is the differential equation. Now we assume this has a solution in the form of r function of r, z function of z, phi function of phi, and t function of t. So you have variable previously u, which was the function of x, y, z, and t, and x, y, z you space variable you transform to the cylindrical coordinate system, r, z, and phi. So ultimately you become now function of r, z, phi, and t, and we assume that solution is in the form of this. Then what we do, this is the method of variable separable. So here what we do, we substitute equation 11 to 10, and we will get, after dividing this quantity r, z, phi, t, we will get this this equation. So here we can see right hand side of equation 12 is just a function of t. So because t is a function of small t, so right hand side is function of t, and left hand side is the function of r, phi, and z. But we know that this r, phi, z, and t are independent variables. So therefore, this equality hold means this should be constant. So let us assume this constant as a minus j square. And then this, if you write equal to minus j square, then we will get two differential equations. This is the one differential equation, and this is another differential equation. Again, if you see 14, so here right hand side, just function of z. and left hand side function of r and phi. So again, this equality hold if this is equal to some constant, and that constant assume as a lambda square minus lambda square, then we will get from 14 two differential equation. One is this one and second one is this one. Same thing we do. So here right hand side is function of phi and left hand side is function of r. So this is equal. So this must be some constant. So let's say this constant as a mu square, and then this equation 16 will give two equations 17 and 18. So this 18, which is the corresponding to the radial vector, means r variable. So we have r, z and phi. So corresponding to radial component, we have this equation, and this is the ultimately Bessel's differential equation. So we have a partial differential equation. When we solve using cylindrical coordinate system, then this radial component give the Bessel equation. And mostly we see most of the partial differential equation when we solve and then using cylindrical coordinate system, or sometimes we can use spherical coordinate system. It depends on the problem. Then radial component gives Bessel equation, and or something which can be converted to the Bessel equation. That's why Bessel equation is very important, and people want to study the Bessel function. Okay, so this is the Bessel equation, and that solution then we can find easily, and that will be the in terms of Bessel function. So this is the things, and this is called separation of variable method. So here lambda, mu, and xi can be any real number, or it can be even complex number also. Okay, so two important cases. First case is right hand side of that equation. If you take 0, so that you call Laplace equation. So again, you do same process, and then you will get this is the equation. So this radial component is the Bessel equation. And second one is the Holmers equation. So here, after taking 1 by equal to b equal to c equal to 0 and c is equal to minus k square, we have this equation. And corresponding to that, we will get this is the Bessel equation. Okay. So this is the one application. Second application, this is just we have a pendulum, and this pendulum, this is the string, but this length r, it can be variable. It can increase or decrease with time. So this is the problem. So we need to find the phi at any time t, what is the displacement. So this is the string pendulum. So what we do, this is a problem from mechanics. So this is equation, governing equation is given by this expression. So this is from mechanics, so that I am not going in detail on this. So, but equation we can see. So this is a second order differential equation, and this equation r we have assumed as a function of t. So with time, this length r can change. So, and we assume that this is changing linearly. Okay, so in this picture we can see, this is the ER and E phi, the component in transverse direction, and this is the radial direction. And this mu is the mass of this pendulum, and G is the gravity. So here we can calculate this ER and E phi denote the orthogonal unit vector, where ER always points in the direction of position vector and E phi in the transverse direction. Then ER and E phi satisfy this relation that can be easily calculated. And because ER will be the cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap, and then you can find E phi, and ER and E phi both are orthogonal, and then you can derive this one. This is not difficult. So using this notation, the position vector now in terms of vector, it will be R into ER, and R is nothing but AT plus B. So if you take derivative with respect to T, we will get velocity. And one more time, if you take derivative, then we have this acceleration. So in this acceleration, there are two components. One is the ER component and E phi. So in transverse direction, this is the velocity component. And that is equal to that if you see the picture. In this picture, so this is the E5 in this direction. So you take, this is the mass, mu is the mass, and so this the equation you have to apply, F equal to ma, force is equal to mass into acceleration. So that's using this mechanics. So this becomes equal to, this component will be equal to this quantity, mass into this g sine phi, and so that gives this equation. Now in this equation 22, this is the equation. So now problem change to solve this equation. So here, if we assume the phi is very less, so sine phi can be reduced to phi, means some approximation we do. So sine phi we are just replacing by phi. Then this becomes, and here we do transformation, at plus b is equal to ax. Then we get this differential equation. And this is again Bessel differential equation. And if we compare this with general Bessel differential equation, you multiply both sides x and compare with the general differential equation that I have mentioned. Then for this choice above equation we get, and then solution will be in terms of Bessel function. So for general differential equation, I have written solution. So from there itself, we can write the solution in terms of Bessel's function of first kind and second kind. Now C1 and C2 can be found using some condition on the mechanical problem. So if we assume the condition that for time t equal to 0, the displacement phi naught and angular velocity is 0. So that means when t is equal to 0, phi at 0 will be phi naught, and this displaced angular velocity is 0. So two conditions if you put here, and then you solve the equation. So after solving, we will get the constant C1 and C2. So the condition we have changed in terms of variable x. So there are two conditions. So take derivative and then put x is equal to b by a. So this is a phi naught and this is a 0. So we have two equations, and that can be solved. After solving these two equations, we will get the C1 and C2 in terms of this. So denominator is again, this denominator is the Wronskian, and that is also very important. In the research point of view, there is something called Wronskian of this Bessel function. So that also you can note down, and in general like j nu y nu minus, so here j nu y nu plus 1 minus j nu y nu, j nu plus 1 y nu. So this combination, this kind of combination is also studied in special function, and this has some special value. So that is nothing but 2 by minus 2 by pi lambda. So if you substitute this, then this denominator again will be simplified, and we have the C1 and C2 in simple form. And after substituting this, we will get this solution. This is the solution for your mechanical problem. So we can see many places how we are getting the Bessel function and how they can be useful in solving the problem. Okay, so for application, just this is, I think, okay. Now I will move to the zeros, related to zeros of Bessel function. So for that, I will recall something. First, to study the zero of some function, first I will recall some complex analysis thing. So you know the entire function is the complex valued function that is holomorphic in whole complex plane. Okay, so and for any entire function, we define order of entire functions. So that is related with this quantity MFR, that is maximum of modulus of Fz on the circle mod z equal to R. So this is the quantity MFR, that is this quantity. Now we say that this function Fz is entire function of finite order if this quantity is asymptotically less than e power r to the power k. Asymptotically less than means a quantity gr is less than hr asymptotically if this inequality hold for large value of r. So this quantity is hold for large value of R, then we call asymptotic inequality. And suppose this hold, so now this is the entire function we call finite order. If this happen, there exists a K such that this inequality hold. So if you take the infimum of all such K, then this infimum we denote rho, and it is called order of entire function. So this is a little complicated, so I'm not going in much detail on this, but important thing is that for any entire function, there are quantity that is called order, or sometimes people say growth order of entire function. And that is related with some asymptotic thing, but we have entire function and that can be written as a power series. So the important thing is the next one, this one. So you have an entire function, so it can be written in this form, power series form. Then this order can be calculated using this limit. Limit n tends to infinity, limit supremum of n log n divided by log 1 by modulus of Cn. So see, you can, this rho, that is the order, that depend on the coefficient. So if you have an entire function and which you can explicitly write in this form. Sometimes what is the problem is that we do not know in explicit form of the Cn. We know that function is entire, but we are not able to write in very explicit form like this. Then in that case, it is not easy to calculate order. But many times, if you have a power series, then you can easily calculate this order. So we will see how this order are important. So this is some example. So if you have entire function, so if you want to construct a entire function of order rho, so simply this will work. So this is the entire function. You can see if you calculate this limit for this coefficient, then that will be the rho. So this is the entire function of order rho. So you can always construct entire function of order rho. And this is the entire function of infinity order. And this is the entire function of zero order. And if you have entire function and you know the order, then the derivative will also have same order. Okay. So to study this entire function, this is a very good book by Levin. You can see this book. It is also available online, so you can download and you can check. Okay, so now let's come to this class. So you know that a polynomial with real zero. So consider a polynomial, class of polynomial with all zeros are real. So by Rolle's theorem, it can be shown that it is closed under differentiation. What I mean is that if you have a polynomial, let's say any polynomial p of z, and it has real zero. So if you take derivative p dash, then that will also have real zero. So that is by Rolle's theorem, it can be proved. So entire function are considered as a limit of polynomial. So question is whether this same result is true for entire function. Means suppose you have an entire function f and it has real zero. So what can you say about the zero of f dash? Whether f dash will have real zero? So that is the question. So answer, anyone know? Anyone from audience? If you have entire function with real zero, so derivative of entire function will have real zero. This is true or not? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So anyone from audience? Are you following me or not? So question is, if you have entire function and it has real zero, so whether it will guarantee that derivative of that function will also have real zero? So answer is no. Answer is no. So we can see this example. We have this is entire function fz, and it has real zero, z equal to 1. But if you take derivative, then this derivative function has complex zero. So this property does not hold. for set of entire function. So set of entire function is a big class. Set of polynomial is one class inside the set of entire function. And that set of polynomial, we know the property that zeros, they are closed under differentiation. So we need another class which is inside the set of entire function and which also satisfied the property of polynomial. And that class was given by the Laguerre-Polya, and that is called Laguerre-Polya class. So a real entire function, we define a real entire function phi, and that we denote in terms of this power series gamma n by n factorial z to the power n, and that we call belongs to in Laguerre-Polya class if this can be written in this product form. Okay, so we have seen, for example, Bessel function. We started with differential equation, and then we started with, after that we got the series representation of the function, and then integral representation of function. So many times in special function, we try to write function either in series form or integral form, or there is another form that is called product form. So here omega can be infinity also. So it is interesting to note that this Bessel function is also belong to Laguerre-Polya class, that we will see. So this is the form of the function. If your function is written in this form, then we say this belongs to Laguerre-Polya class. And important thing about this Laguerre-Polya class is that only if you have a function which is in Laguerre-Polya class, means you can always find a sequence of polynomial which converges to that function uniformly, and those polynomial will have real zero. So this is the very important thing about this Laguerre-Polya class. The significance of Laguerre-Polya class is that the function in this class and only these are the uniform limit on compact subset of C of polynomial with only real zero. So because of this result, it is very important to study the theory of entire function if you want to study the zeros of those functions. So theory of entire function and zeros, they are very much connected to each other, and this is the one of the reason for that. Okay, so this class is very important. So that class has some important properties. So some of those properties I will mention here. So we have the phi, which is in Laguerre-Polya class. So this phi is closed under differentiation. So if phi is in LP, Laguerre-Polya class, then if you take any derivative, that will be again in Laguerre-Polya class. And then this is the result. If phi in Laguerre-Polya class, so it has the coefficient gamma n here by n factorial. Using this coefficient, if you consider the polynomial, then this polynomial will have real zero. So this is a very important result, and research, many times people use this result to find the zeros of some special function. Okay, and then another inequality, if phi in Laguerre-Polya class, then it will satisfy this inequality. That inequality is called Laguerre inequality. And this is a very interesting inequality which I have studied in my PhD time also. So if your function is in Laguerre-Polya class, then this coefficient gamma n satisfy this Turan inequality. So again, this Turan inequality, this is necessary condition on the coefficient gamma n such that your function is in Laguerre-Polya class. Similarly, this is again necessary condition for derivative so that this belongs to Laguerre-Polya class. And again, here I would like to just mention one thing. This inequality is very much important, and because again, this is related with function, which is this form, and that is in Laguerre-Polya class. And that is related, this Laguerre-Polya class is related with the zeros of function. And there is some very well-known result, Riemann hypothesis, that say about the zero of Riemann zeta function. And there is very nice paper where they discuss Turan type inequality and Riemann hypothesis. So that you can check. So again, this is inequality, how this is connected with zeros of function and how they are connected with Riemann hypothesis. So they are very good work in this direction. Okay, so let's go to the Bessel function now. So it was the result by Lomel. He proved that for nu greater than -1, all the zeros of Bessel functions are real. So many times people do study the Bessel function and they use or they study the properties of Bessel function. There they put this condition. So the one of the reason might be that zeros of this function are real when nu greater than -1. So that was the result of Lomel, and that proof is available in book of Watson, that first reference which I have given in first slide. So another proof which is based on the Laguerre-Polya class that was recently given by Dimitri and others. So here he considered the function, this Bessel function, just some normalization, and this is entire function, and corresponding to this entire function, this is the coefficient gamma n divided by n factorial z to the power n. So you construct the Jensen polynomial, that third property, with third property. So this Jensen polynomial, if you consider, so this Jensen polynomial is nothing but it is in terms of some function 1f1. So I will come to this function again later on. So this is called hypergeometry function. So actually this is Kumar function, in fact. So here this can be written in terms of Ln nu, and this is the Laguerre polynomial, and result is available for this polynomial that they have real zero, and therefore this polynomial will have real zero. Okay, so and the zero of Laguerre polynomial are real for nu greater than -1. It follows that f nu in LP and consequently zero of f nu are real. So this is the simple proof given by the Dimitri and this. So this is the paper. Okay, so this is for Bessel function when nu greater than -1. They have real zero. So what about when nu is less than -1? Because J nu is well defined for every nu. It is in fact entire function of nu. Okay, so that will come. So here is another important result related to Bessel function 0. So if you denote J nu n nth positive 0 and J nu dash n nth positive 0 of derivative of J nu, then these 0 are have interlacing properties. Means between 2 0 of J nu dash, there is exactly 1 0 of J nu. So this is the inequalities. So this was the by Dixon, and this again was proved recently by Baris, Dimitri, and Mejo. They have used again the idea of this Laguerre inequality. So here the Bessel function J nu, use this just multiply this so that this can be written as this product, infinite product. And this infinite product, from this infinite product, we can say that this function belongs to Laguerre-Polya class, and therefore it will satisfy this Laguerre inequality. And this inequality, if you take for n equal to 1, n equal to 2, then n equal to 1, it will give this equation in terms of J nu. And this, we can take here this other side. So this is greater than this one. So from here, we will get nu J nu square by Z. So here, left-hand side is positive. And therefore, this gives the monotonicity of this quantity, J nu dash divided by J nu. So because if you take this derivative, so derivative will be the negative of this, and therefore that will be negative. So therefore this is, numerator will be negative of this and denominator will be J nu square. So this is the decreasing function because of this. So in each interval, sub-interval of this 0 infinity, because J nu n, there will be infinitely many zero, J nu 1, J nu 2, J nu 3, all are zero of this denominator. You have a strip. In each strip, this function is decreasing. And therefore, you take the limit. This is also known that all the zero of J nu are real and simple because of Lomel. And therefore, from these two, we can say that the limit, if you find the limit, when z goes to j nu k minus 1, this is plus infinitive. And when z goes to j nu k, it is the minus infinitive. Means between j nu k minus 1 and j nu k, there will be exactly 1 0 of this ratio. And that will be the 0 of j nu dash. And therefore, in this interval, there exists a unique 0 that we call j nu k dash. Okay, so this proved the interlacing property of 0 of j nu and j nu dash. So this is the Lohmann theorem, so that I mentioned, and its generalization, like for nu greater than minus 1, we have this result. It has real 0. So when nu is negative, less than minus 1, then this is the two result, part B and C. So that was given by Hurwitz. So these are very important results in the related to 0 of Bessel function. So when nu is in this interval, then j nu has 4s plus 2 non-real 0, and out of which 2 are purely imaginary. So this is the result by Hurwitz. And so just proof I will skip. So there are many proofs. One of the proof which is given in the book of Watson, and that was based on this Lohmann polynomial. So just I will skip because of time. So just okay. So this is the book of Watson, and this is his paper. So where he studied the 0 of Bessel function for new negative cases. And okay, so this is the one proof. So interesting thing, the Hurwitz result has many proofs. So Bessel function, we have seen that their 0 has interlacing property, their zeros are real. So question arises about their derivative, whether their derivative will also have real zeros. And we have seen that j nu and j nu dash, their 0 are interlacing. So what about j nu dash and j nu double dash? Similarly, j nu double dash and j nu triple dash. So up to 3 derivative results were available, but recently a more general result was given by Baris and others in this paper. So there they proved that this nth derivative has infinitely many real 0 when nu greater than minus 1. And this one is the interlacing thing. Nth derivative and n plus 1 derivative will have derivative. So if you consider 0 of those, then they will have interlacing properties. And this is just a consequence of this. So this is very interesting result. So related to zeros, we have seen that interlacing properties of Bessel function and their derivative. But again, one important thing is remaining, that Hurwitz theorem. Hurwitz theorem means these all are for nu greater than n minus 1. So this is for derivative. What about the distribution of 0? Means complex, whether they have complex 0 or not. So that we wanted to study. So this is the just interlacing properties for second derivative and third derivative zeros, first derivative and second derivative, and so on. So let me come to again the Hurwitz problem. So motivated by Hurwitz, in the previous same paper, Baris and others, they have given open problem. And this was the problem they wanted to study. And I also involved in this. And then later on, we started to see the Hurwitz theorem, and we found 7 different proofs. But none of those proofs were working for general case. If you take any nth order derivative of j nu, then thought that those theorems were not working. Then in literature, we found some results, and that were very interesting. So just I will recall those results. So one result is by Labouret. So here you have a real entire function phi, and its order is less than 2. And the property this phi possesses that it has only real negative 0. Then if you consider this series, then this has only real and negative 0. So you can see the zeros of this depend on the coefficient phi n. So this is very interesting result, and this is very popular. This result has been used many places. So our special function like Bessel function and other function, usually they are in the form of this power series, and just we need to see, or we need to study this function phi n, this coefficient, whether they are entire. If entire, then we need to study whether order is less than 2 or not. So this is the one result, and then another result by Obresco. So here Q is entire function of order 0 or 1, and it has only real 0, and out of this S are positive 0. So Q is a real entire function growth order 0 or 1, and real 0 and S positive 0. Then this is the result. This sum has at most 2S complex 0. So this has 2S complex 0. So this is the again distribution of 0, and here zeros are complex. Because of that, this result is very important. So you can see beauty of this result, that the property of Q characterize the location of 0 of this sum. So in the same line, so here you can read this paper. This paper is very important, related to zeros of entire function, and especially they are talking about 0 of entire Fourier transform. And again, there they are talking about the Riemann zeta function and other things, because Riemann zeta function can be converted to Riemann xi function, and then we can talk about the zeros of Riemann xi function. The Riemann xi function is the entire function, and that can be written as a Fourier transform. So this is the two result, and this another result by Polya. Again here, the characterization of the zeros of this function, it depends on the coefficient an and the function g. So this function is Laguerre-Polya class of type 1. So Laguerre-Polya class of type 1 means if function w is in Laguerre-Polya class of type 1, if it can be written in this product form. So this is just another more result by Runkel. So these two I'm not going to use, but just I state here. So here again, the zeros of this function is depending on the coefficient an. So here you have a function f, which has this form, exponential and multiplied by h, and h has this product form, and g has this form. So this has only real zeros. So using the result of this four lemma, we prove the generalization of Hurwitz theorem. So Hurwitz theorem was related to the 0 of j nu, so derivative of j nu. So this, when nu greater than n minus 1, then all 0 of j nu are real. And second part, that when nu belongs to this interval, then this j nu n has at most 4s plus 2 complex 0. So again, Hurwitz theorem for j nu was there, they were saying that they had exactly 4s plus 2 complex 0, but here in this we have something different. It has at most 4s plus 2 complex 0. So still something is required to prove here. Means this is not complete extension of Hurwitz, complete proof of the Hurwitz theorem. Some more thing is required, and this is the other part. Okay. So to prove this theorem, we have used the Obraztsov result and Laguerre result, and this we published in the Proceeding AMS in this paper. So you can see this paper where we have given many references, which is related to the 0 of Bessel function and very different proof for Hurwitz theorem. So those references you can see from the paper. Okay, so yeah, so this I have used something 1f1. So this is the more general thing, PFQ, that is called generalized hypergeometric function. Okay, so here this is defined by this series form, and again this A1n, this notation, so that we define in this way, product of A plus 1, and so on, A plus n minus 1, and that can be written as gamma A plus n divided by gamma n. So here A and B are just component vector. Vector means they have P component and B has Q component. So this is a generalized hypergeometric function. And again, just I will state this result. So here, when b greater than 0 means each component are positive, and a re-indexed like this, ak is equal to bk plus nk, then the 0 of this generalized hypergeometric function we have studied, and when this condition are satisfied, then we can see that it has non-positive roots. So just in few minutes you will know that why I am talking about the generalized hypergeometric function. So there will be some open problem, so that is related to generalized hypergeometric function. So for that reason I just included here. So this theorem talk about the distribution of 0 of generalized hypergeometric function, where component here a minus b and minus z is there. And moreover, this Kalmiko and Karp, they have conjectured this result. When p is less than q, then they conjecture that this has real and negative zeros. F, p, f, q has real and negative 0. And if you take the particular case, this one, so that using the Lagure result, we can easily prove that their conjecture is true, at least for this special case, p is equal to 0 case. Okay, and this was also proved, this conjecture was also, particular case of this was also proved by Richard. And there, what they have taken ak is equal to bk plus nk, this indexing. If you take this, and this again they have proved here, but we can prove using the Lagure result. So idea is that, so this ak is, why this reindexing is working here. So if you do this reindexing, then this ratio, whatever the ratio you will get by hypergeometric function definition, that becomes entire function. So here this gamma function or meromorphic function, but because of reindexing, the
measure everything.
just I'm going to finish in 2 minutes. Yeah, so after the reindexing, the pole of numerator are observed by those of the denominator, and therefore this becomes entire function of growth order 1, and then we can apply the Lagure result and we will get the result. Okay, so Obrachko result. Okay, so what we have seen that this Obrachko or Lagure result are useful to find the maximal or exact number of complex zeros of entire function, provided the coefficients involved this 1 by gamma function. Okay. However, the Kalmiko and Karp conjecture, their coefficient, hypergeometric function, their coefficient are meromorphic, and therefore those results we cannot use. So it will be interesting to study the following, and that was posed by the Karwan and Sardas, and this is the problem. So we need to study 0 of this kind of function, an fn by n factorial z to the power n. So under what condition on this fn this has real and negative 0? So that is the conjecture, that is the open problem related to zeros of special function that is in literature. So if you want to study this thing, try to solve this, then many problem can be solved. So with this open problem, I will just close my session. And this, if you solve this problem, because here fn is meromorphic function, and then that will easily solve the conjecture of Kalmiko and Karp. So with this, I close. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much for your nice presentation, sir. Now I request the audience to raise doubts, if any. You can unmute and ask, sir. Please come out with your queries.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Sir, already you have studied Bessel function and tried to solve in many cases, sir. But my question is, what is the main purpose for having Bessel function in a real meaning? Why we are in need of solving these kind of Bessel equations or Bessel functions?
Okay, so that's why I started in beginning with application. This special function usually they are appearing as a solution of some differential equation, some second order, mostly second order linear differential equation, and those differential equations appear when you solve some problem, some mathematical problem, some physical problem. When you do modeling, you do convert the physical problem into differential equation, and that differential equation, if you solve, then you have this function, special function. So, like I have mentioned, yeah.
Sir, initially you started with the Bessel function in terms of Z, sir. It is a real variable or a complex variable, sir?
Bessel function is well defined for even complex variable. J nu Z. It is well defined. It is even it is entire function of nu, and you just multiply z by 2 to the power minus nu, because if you see the series representation, so there is the power. Just 1 minute. Where is the presentation?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. So just 1 minute. Just like here, this is the function. Can you see my screen?
Sir, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in this function z by 2 to the power 2 nu plus nu. So z by 2 power minus nu you multiply. So means z by 2 power minus nu you can take left hand side. Then the remaining thing becomes entire function of z.
Hello.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Ashish.
Okay.
Sir, how to use Bessel's function in Kuenig theory?
Queen theory.
Ji, sir. Because
Yeah, so
because
that
my research topic
so
is my research topic is
I do not have idea how it appears, but we need to check. If you solve the problem from Kuhn theory, whether you are getting the differential equation that is related to Bessel's differential equation. If it is related to Bessel differential equation, then we can use this function. So let me tell you, there are some function. One is the Bessel function, which is coming from Bessel differential equation. Second is the modified Bessel function, which is coming from modified Bessel differential equation. And right hand side in this equation we have taken 0. But right hand side, if you take non-zero quantity like this equation, so there is something called skew function, and then again you take some other quantity, so that is called Lomel function.
Hello.
So you can note down this function and you can see how they can be used. So they are related to Bessel function.
Sir, similarly, one participant has asked one question about the origin of Bessel function.
About the
origin. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, one has asked, sir, about the origin of Bessel function.
Yeah, origin I told in beginning that Bessel was the mathematician. He was working related to the problem of this planetary motion. And at that time, Fourier was very famous. He has given a talk, and there he has given the idea of writing a function in the form of combination of trigonometric series. And that idea Bessel applied to that problem, the planetary motion problem, which was given by Kepler. And there first time he got this Bessel function. He got some function, and later on people called this as a Bessel function. That is the origin. So Bessel function that appear first there, and later on this Bessel differential equation come. I think Bessel differential equation given by Bernoulli or Euler. I'm not sure, but that came later.
Only one asked, sir, example of Bessel function application.
Yeah, so that is the application I mentioned. Like one application, this is a pendulum. This is the planetary motion there. If you solve the problem, so you are getting so this is the problem. How you solve. in solving this problem, you have to use the Bessel function. So that is the application of Bessel function. And here is the problem, second problem what I mentioned here, the pendulum thing. Yeah, this is the physical problem. This is here in the mechanics. This problem again involves the Bessel function. And zeros, let me tell you the zeros, why I'm interesting thing about zeros. So these zeros are eigenvalue of some boundary value problem. Zeros of Bessel functions are eigenvalues of some boundary value problem. And therefore it is interesting to study these zero. I have one paper, and there in that paper I have studied the zeros of cross product of Bessel function. So some function involving Bessel function and modified Bessel function. And that zeros I find some bound, and that bound were used in the paper which appear in the fluid dynamics. So you can see, I have just studied the mathematics point of view. I found some bound, but in fluid dynamics, they were studying something using some Reynolds number and something, and they use that zeros. So that is again application. This our mathematics thing, if some person are using in engineering to solve their engineering problem, then that is the application.
Good afternoon, sir. Sanjeev, sir. Good afternoon. I'm Indrajit from Chennai. Sir, can you give an example of Lagora polyclass? Because we have defined a lot of equation and theorems.
Yeah, so this Bessel function is in the Lagora polyclass. Normalized that I improve, I have mentioned.
Okay, sir. Actually, I'm asking any solved sums related to that you are having now?
Yeah, so this is a simple one. This is a Lagrange polyclass. This is a Bessel function. Just to normalize, improve, I have mentioned in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
This gamma function. One by gamma function to take.
Okay.
And that you normalize something, then again it will be, because gamma function has infinite product form, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir. Yeah. If you give that real life example, that may be easiest to understand. So simple pendulum you have given that.
These are the real life examples.
You have shown that it is a planetary motion. Pressure equation is always ordinate with the planetary motion. But if you give the reality, some equations, that will be helpful to the student and
So
also.
this pendulum problem. How you solve that problem? For solving that problem, you need the Bessel function.
Yes, sir.
So that is the real life problem.
Yes, you given that mu g sin alpha as the mass of force equal to mass into acceleration.
What? I'm not getting.
That we have explained, sir. Simple pendulum you have explained. I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that. Just I'm asking some other example for the equation example. If you give an equation, how we can solve it in a regular class. That's why.
Okay. I think you are. See, there are two things. One thing is just solving some simple differential equation where I have written one general differential equation.
Okay.
So you assign some particular value for those coefficient, you will get some many differential equation, and those solution will be in terms of differential equation. So that is just some example.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your presentation and spending your time with us and spreading your knowledge also. Thank you to the principal of the Nehru Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, and their organizing team. Thank you so much to everyone. I'm Indrajit from Chennai. Thank you.
Any other question? Otherwise, Nagaraj sir.
Yes,
Sir,
Ilakya, ma'am.
yes, sir. I'm there, sir.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So,
Let us proceed, ma'am.
sir, shall I, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Yes, sir. A warm and graceful morning to one and all gathered here. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. I, on behalf of our Nehru Institute of Technology and its entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to Almighty. On my own behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our Honorable CEO and Secretary, Dr. P. Krishnakumar, sir. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of our entire institute, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. K.P. Arulshree sir, who's giving a wonderful support to organize this webinar successfully. Thank you, sir. It's my turn to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our respected head of the department, Science and Humanities, and convener of this webinar, Dr. S. Ishwaran sir, who has given us the confidence to organize this webinar. It's your sense of commitment which creates an apt platform for us to grow both mentally and spiritually. On this great occasion, with merging of minds, once again, thank you, sir, for your enormous support. At the outset, I thank our chief guest and resource person, Dr. Sanjeev Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, IIT. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge and time from your busiest schedule to grace this occasion. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to our organizing secretary, Dr. M. Nagarajan, sir, who is the backbone of this webinar. Sir, without your efforts, this success could not be happen. Thank you, sir, for your enthusiastic support. I have also obliged to active participants present here. Your suggestions always helps us. I'm happy to express my vote of thanks to our faculty members who have made their webinar a grand success. A big thank you to organizing team members, Mr. Balaji sir and Ms. Sendamal Selvi ma'am, for their fantastic support. In this such a short time, you have made the best arrangements for this program. Thank you, team, wholeheartedly. I once again thank you all making this webinar as a success. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Welcome. Okay, so.
Okay, sir, leave it.
So I can leave now.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You leave it.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Sanjay Singh, sir. Okay, thank you.
Nagaraj, sir.
Sir.
Okay, thank
Sir,
you.
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்துச்சு. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very good organization. இது பக்காவா நல்ல many really பாத்தீங்கன்னா
210 வரைக்கும் வந்து சார்.
204 had attended.
Yes, sir. Other Facebook live-லயும் போயிட்டு இருக்கு சார்.
Okay.
Sir, nice response, sir. Ishwaran, sir.
Ma'am?
Sir, nice response, sir. Really.
Yes, ma'am. Right from the day one, when we posted the